The secret that makes women chase men, make her run after you, psychology tricks. Let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Khalil Gibran. If you sprint after a woman, you teach her that your time and attention are easy to win and easy to take for granted. Over pursuit reads as scarcity, scarcity of purpose, options, and self respect. Women don't move toward the man who puts her on a pedestal, they move toward the man who already stands on his own. The draw isn't a tactic, it's a life that's full, directed, and grounded. You've probably heard the usual advice: be extra nice, be endlessly patient, be constantly available. For grown men, especially, that script backfires. It dilutes your standards, blurs your boundaries, and slowly erodes the very presence that creates attraction. This isn't about mind games. It's about alignment. Walk with purpose, invest in your health, mission, and friendships. Keep your standards. Say yes with intention and no without apology. Be present, not persistent, connect, then give space for curiosity to grow. Lead with truth. Clear communication beats clever moves every time. When you stop chasing and start living as a man she'd be proud to stand beside, the dynamic flips. Interest meets you halfway. Respect follows. And the right woman leans in because she can feel you don't need her to feel whole. By the end of this, remember one principle: chasing signals lack, composure signals value. Build the life, hold your frame, and let attraction do what it does best: move towards strength. 1. Rebuild your life financially. Don't rebuild your life for show, rebuild it for spine. Be the man whose bank account reflects discipline, not desperation. That is the quiet secret that flips the dynamic and makes women chase men, not because of dollar signs, but because of what those dollars say about you. You plan, you persist, you keep your word. You must understand this. When money is thin, options are thinner, and a thin life breeds neediness. Neediness makes you talk too much, explain too much, give too much, and it kills presence fast. Don't argue with that reality. Use it. Be the man who treats money as a mirror, not a megaphone. That is where the real psychology tricks start, not manipulation, but mastery. You must look at your finances and see your habits staring back. If the numbers are messy, your choices are messy. If the numbers are steady, your spirit is steady. Don't tell yourself it's not about money and stop there. Half-truths starve grown men. The other half is this: money symbolizes independence, control, and the courage to walk away. Be independent enough to say no to chaos, no to disrespect, no to the cheap thrill that drains your wallet and your will. That is how to fall in love with your own life first, and paradoxically, that's how to fall in love becomes easier with anyone worthy. You must stop chasing approval, because chasing is the tax desperate men pay for not being ready. Don't posture with rented status. No one who matters is impressed. Be grounded instead. That is what female psychology responds to at a gut level: the calm of a man who can pay his bills, pay attention, and pay respect to himself before he offers it to anyone else. You must move from scarcity to strategy. Learn a skill that pays, stack a second income stream, set automatic savings, clear the debt that steals tomorrow's peace. Don't bleed cash on vices that buy minutes of relief and years of regret. Be boring for a season and brilliant for the rest of your life. That is the trade. You must build a plan you can execute on tired days, because real confidence is born when your system works even when your mood doesn't. Don't confuse flash with force. A watch won't fix your worry. Be the man who can walk away from a date, a deal, or a dead-end habit because your life works without any of them. That is power, and power is magnetic. You must understand the subtle signals your energy sends. When you're scrambling, women feel the static before you speak. When you're solid, they feel the signal. Don't let your wallet whisper panic. Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. Set the tone, don't react to it. That is one of the oldest psychology tricks in the book, and it works because it's honest. Presence beats performance. You must manage money to manage yourself, and when you manage yourself, you manage the room without trying. Don't count dollars to impress her, count choices to impress yourself. Be consistent. That is the language respect understands. You must track your income and your attention with the same seriousness, because attention is a currency too. Don't negotiate for affection by overspending on gifts or dinners while underinvesting in purpose. Be busy building. That is when the chase reverses. You're not aloof. You're absorbed in something meaningful. You must remember that female psychology does not fall for money, it falls for momentum. Don't ignore the basics: paid bills, growing savings, shrinking debt, clear goals. Be proud of the smallest responsible step, because small steps compound into serenity. That is how to fall in love with your own progress. And yes, that's also how to fall in love with someone who admires the man you're becoming. You must see money as proof that you can create value under pressure, keep promises to yourself, and protect your future. Don't dress up scarcity with swagger. It always leaks. Be the man who has nothing to prove and everything to protect. That is irresistible because it signals safety without softness, direction without rigidity, warmth without need. You must cut distractions that drain your bank account and your bandwidth, pointless subscriptions, empty weekends, relationships that cost your peace. Don't be dramatic, be decisive. That is another of the psychology tricks that actually aligns with integrity. Choose once, then follow the choice with action. You must invest in skills, health, and networks that pay you back in freedom. Don't obsess over being rich. Be in control. That is the threshold. When your life is funded, your voice lowers, your pace slows, your eyes settle. You must understand that women don't fall in love with cash. They fall for the composure that cash flow creates, for the man who can stand still in a storm. Don't chase her, chase competence. Be the builder of your own foundation. That is the whole playbook of female psychology in this context. Stability signals strength. Strength invites pursuit. You must rise for you, not for applause. Don't fear being alone. Fear being unprepared. Be the man who can rebuild if life breaks, who can start again without begging. That is the final lesson. When your foundation is solid, your presence speaks for you. You must keep going until the life you manage becomes the life you enjoy, and when that happens, you stop running after anyone, because the right person will be running to keep up with you. 2. Stay emotionally grounded. Money can buy you comfort, but make no mistake, it cannot buy you emotional control. You could have the car, the suit, the watch, but if a single text message can wreck your peace, you're still a slave to your emotions. You're not free, you're fragile. Most men today are living on emotional autopilot. She smiles and they soar. She pulls back and they crash. That's not passion. That's addiction disguised as affection. And here's the truth: women can sense it immediately. They can feel when your happiness depends on their approval. They can feel when your sense of worth hangs on their attention. That kind of energy, that chasing energy, kills attraction before it even starts. Because no woman truly desires a man she can emotionally control. Be the calm in the storm. Being emotionally grounded means you don't react, you respond. You don't lose your cool when life throws you a curveball. You breathe, you assess, you adjust. Don't let her silence define your value. Don't let her withdrawal hijack your peace. Don't let the actions of another person dictate your emotional weather, because your peace is your power. And a high-value man protects that power like it's gold. Understand this: women test men not to hurt them, but to measure them. They want to see if your frame holds steady under pressure. If you crumble at the first sign of tension, she won't feel safe around you. But if you stay calm, composed, unshaken, confident, she'll start to trust you. And from that trust, respect is born. Respect is the foundation of attraction. Without it, love doesn't even get a chance to breathe. The power of masculine energy. Emotional control doesn't mean becoming cold or robotic. It means being anchored, calm, aware, centered. It's about channeling your masculine energy, steady, confident, grounded. You don't chase highs or run from discomfort. You sit with both. You learn from them. You don't betray your purpose for a moment of validation. You stay loyal to your mission, not your impulses. When you master your emotions, everything about you changes. Your voice slows down. Your movements become deliberate. You speak with clarity. You think with precision. You radiate presence, that invisible force that makes people listen when you talk. You stop chasing women, because now women start chasing you. Why? Because you finally embody what every woman secretly craves, a man in control of himself. That's the essence of a high-value man. That's how you attract women without even trying. You are the prize. When you truly get this, something inside you clicks. You stop trying to impress. You stop begging for attention. You stop needing anyone to complete you. You realize you are the prize. Your worth isn't up for debate. Your energy is your currency, and you spend it wisely. Stay grounded. Stay patient. Stay powerful. Because when you can walk through chaos without losing your balance, people feel it. They sense your composure. They lean toward your calm. You become magnetic. That's what masculine energy does. It doesn't chase, it attracts. It doesn't beg, it commands respect. And it doesn't lose itself for love. It makes love flow toward it. So don't let the world pull you off your center. Don't let a woman's emotions dictate your own. Be the rock in the storm, unshaken, unbothered, untouchable. Because the moment you master yourself, you stop running after women and they start running after you. 3. Never be afraid to lose a woman. Stop fearing loss. That is the trap. When you worry about keeping her, you hand her the power you should keep for yourself, and you start bending, shrinking, performing. Don't. You must anchor yourself in standards and self-respect. Don't tolerate disrespect. Don't mute your voice. Don't pretend you're fine when you're not. Hold frame. Hold ground. Hold the line. In modern life, where texts ping at midnight, where social media fuels comparison, where dating apps offer infinite scroll, you need an iron mind. Build it. Guard it. Use it. You have power over your mind, not outside events, wrote Marcus Aurelius. Realize this, and you will find strength. Old Stoic wisdom isn't dusty, it's a daily weapon. Apply it this hour, in this chat thread, in this room, in this decision. When she senses fear, she senses scarcity. Scarcity smells like need, and need repels. Abundance smells like choice, and choice attracts. Say it to yourself until it's carved into bone. I'd value you in my life, but I'll be just fine if you're not. That is self-respect. That is calm power. That is how you make psychology work for you, not against you. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters, said Epictetus. Your reaction must be steady. Your reaction must be chosen. Your reaction must be yours. Don't chase validation. Don't audition for approval. Don't beg for attention like a notification junkie. Show up as yourself, raw, honest, unfiltered. Paradoxically, that's when attraction spikes. Why? Because steadiness signals value. Because boundaries signal strength. Because a centered man transmits safety and challenge at the same time. She doesn't want a shadow that clings. She wants a man who stands. A man whose day is full, whose mission matters, whose world does not collapse if she tests, withdraws, or walks. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power, teaches Lao Tzu. Let that lesson become muscle memory. Old Stoic wisdom again. Control the controllable. Release the rest. When she pulls away, don't flinch. When she delays replies, don't spiral. When she tests, don't crumble. Breathe. Observe. Decide. If the situation disrespects your value, you must step back. If your standards are crossed, you must speak up. If it keeps happening, you must walk. Don't confuse patience with passivity. Don't confuse kindness with compliance. Don't confuse love with losing yourself. In a world of instant gratification, restraint is rare and irresistible. That is why Stoicism wins. That is why the iron mind wins attention without chasing it. That is why men with options rarely need to ask for them. Let's make this practical. Stop over-texting. Stop over-explaining. Stop seeking reassurance at every dip in her tone. Fill your schedule with training, building, learning, and leading. Call your shot at work. Improve your finances. Lift heavy weights and responsibilities. Develop skills that compound. Invest in style, sleep, and speech. The more complete your life, the less you clutch, and the more you magnetize. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, said Seneca. Prepare relentlessly. Opportunities expand when your presence expands. And remember this filter. If she leaves, it clarifies the field. It doesn't shrink your worth. The right woman won't flee your strength. she'll rise to meet it. So reframe loss as selection. Reframe test as training. Reframe waiting as working. Don't chase her shadow. Pursue your mission. Don't collapse when she challenges you. Calibrate and continue. Don't fear silence. Let silence work for you. That is how Stoicism win in the chaos of modern dating. That is how you turn old Stoic wisdom into new masculine edge. That is how you forge an iron mind that stays steady when emotions spike. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow, wrote Nietzsche. Make your why bigger than any relationship. Make your why the backbone that keeps your standards upright. You must choose self-respect over desperation every time. You must choose truth over performance every time. You must choose action over anxiety every time. Let's be clear, if you lose her, another can appear. If you lose yourself, no one can replace that. Don't lose yourself. Don't bargain your identity for proximity. Don't trade dignity for attention. Speak with purpose. Move with purpose. Live with purpose. Then invite her to join a life already in motion. If she comes along, lead with warmth and strength. If she doesn't, keep moving. Courage is grace under pressure, said Hemingway. Be that calm force. Be that steady presence. Be that man who can say, with quiet certainty, I'm whole with or without you. Repeat it. Embody it. Execute it. Old Stoic wisdom, modern precision. Stoicism win because discipline wins. And the iron mind, trained daily, makes women chase not because you manipulate, but because you radiate clarity, capacity, conviction. Don't cling. Choose. Don't fear. Lead. Don't hope. Act. That is how you win her respect. That is how you win your life. If this message resonates with you, hit like, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe for more powerful mindset shifts. Let's grow together into the men we were meant to be. Comment to remember, I choose self-respect over fear. 4. Invest in your appearance and health. Your body is your billboard, your living business card, and the first chapter of your story before you ever say a word. Whether you like it or not, it broadcasts everything about you: discipline or laziness, self-respect or neglect, power or passivity. The truth is, you don't have to be the most handsome man in the room, but you must look like a man who respects himself. That is non-negotiable. Clean clothes, fresh breath, squared shoulders, and a confident posture. These are not vanity. They are silent announcements of power. When you take care of your body, you're not polishing a shell for approval. You're crafting an image that mirrors your inner control, the kind of control that women instinctively sense. That's one of the most underrated psychology tricks in attraction. Self-respect is magnetic. Go lift. Go run. Eat real food. Sleep like a man who values his energy. You're not training for the mirror. You're training for mastery. Because a strong body sharpens the mind, and a sharp mind fuels dominance. Don't tell the world you're disciplined. Show it through how you carry yourself. Women can feel that kind of quiet authority from across the room. It's not about muscles alone. It's about what those muscles represent: effort, persistence, and self-belief. That is what draws them in, not the biceps, but the discipline behind them. In female psychology, attraction is often less about looks and more about emotional signals: consistency, confidence, confidence. You can't fake that energy. You must live it. When you walk into a room, your energy arrives first. Your appearance announces the story: I'm a man who works on himself daily. And trust me, that line alone can rewrite the entire plot of How to Fall in Love, because women aren't chasing perfect. They're chasing potential realized. Don't hide behind excuses. Don't let yourself go. Be the kind of man who respects the reflection in the mirror enough to improve it. You must treat your health like your empire, guarded, valued, and cultivated daily. Your health shapes your confidence, your focus, your presence. When you feel strong, you act strong. When you act strong, the world mirrors that strength back to you. That's another psychology trick. Your body posture and energy influence not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. When your shirt fits right and your back is straight, you don't need to say you're confident. It radiates naturally. Women pick up on that frequency without you saying a single word. They're not drawn to vanity. They're drawn to vitality. They chase the man who refuses to decay, who keeps sharpening himself while others soften. Now, let's talk style. Style is not about expensive brands or chasing trends, it's about intention. Dress like you respect yourself. A clean fit, a crisp shirt, a scent that lingers just long enough to make her curious. These small touches matter. They whisper, I care about details, and in life, details are everything. Because female psychology reads these signals faster than words. If you can't take care of your body or your clothes, how can she believe you'll take care of her heart? How you do one thing is how you do everything. So invest. Not for vanity, not for Instagram, but for integrity. Build a physique that tells the world this man is awake. A man in control of his body is in control of his life. Be that man. Because when you move with purpose, when your eyes are steady and your presence is firm, you command attention, not by demanding it, but by deserving it. Remember this truth. Attraction isn't about chasing, it's about drawing. Women are naturally drawn to strength, not arrogance, but assurance. That's how the game of how to fall in love truly works. Be the man who doesn't seek validation. Be the man who already owns it. Don't let your body become a monument of neglect. Let it be proof of pride, power, and perseverance. You are your greatest project, and your body is the foundation. So, stop telling yourself you don't have time. You do. Make time. Because every rep, every run, every meal of real food is not just training, it's a message. I'm in command. And when you walk into any room with that quiet fire, women feel it instantly. They may not even know why, but their instincts will. That's not magic. That's mastery, the oldest psychology trick in the book. 5. Master communication and confidence. Confidence isn't about being loud, it's about being certain. It's that quiet, grounded energy that says, without words, I know who I am. A high-value man doesn't need to dominate a room. He owns it through presence. People sense it before he even speaks, that calm authority, that controlled masculine energy that makes everyone take notice. A man who communicates clearly holds power anywhere. When your words come from certainty instead of insecurity, people listen. They trust you. They feel safe around you. That's the kind of strength that makes women lean in, not because you demand attention, but because your confidence commands it naturally. Too many men confuse loudness with leadership. They talk over others, brag, interrupt, and perform like they're auditioning for approval. That's not confidence. That's compensation. Real confidence is quiet and deliberate. You don't rush to speak or force others to agree with you. You let silence work for you, because silence, when owned, speaks volumes. Confidence starts with self-awareness. Before you open your mouth, you must know your truth. What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What won't you tolerate? A man who knows these answers doesn't stumble when he speaks. His voice carries conviction, even when it's soft. People don't just hear him, they feel him. That's the kind of communication that influences without trying. And make no mistake, confidence isn't something you fake, it's something you build. You build it by keeping your promises, mastering your craft, and proving to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws at you. Each small victory reinforces your belief that you're capable. And when you trust yourself, you no longer chase validation from anyone else. That's what gives off that unshakable calm that makes people, especially women, take notice. Women aren't drawn to men who are loud, they're drawn to men who are certain. That's the real magnetism of a high-value man. He doesn't chase, he attracts. He doesn't perform, he embodies. His confidence is not a show, it's a state of being. That kind of man can look a woman in the eye without flinching, without needing her approval, and that's exactly what makes her want to be around him. To master communication, you must also master listening. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Listen to understand. Pay attention not only to words, but also to tone, pauses, and body language. That's where the truth hides. When you listen with presence, people feel seen, heard, and understood. That's emotional intelligence in action, and it's one of the most underrated aspects of masculine energy. When you speak, make your words count. Cut the fillers. Slow down. Mean what you say and say what you mean. If you make a promise, keep it. And when you choose silence, let it be powerful, not awkward. Silence is not weakness, it's control. It shows that you don't need to fill space just to feel significant. The man who commands his words commands the room. He doesn't chase attention, attention finds him. He doesn't try to impress, he simply expresses with clarity and certainty. That's the secret most men miss, the ability to attract women without trying, simply through presence and composure. Be intentional, be clear, be calm. That's what separates the man who talks from the man who leads. Because when your communication carries confidence and your energy carries purpose, you become magnetic. You become the high value man every woman notices, not because you chase her, but because she can't help running after you. 6. Build social value and influence. Build social value and influence like a craftsman, not a showman. Reputation beats attention. Respect beats applause. Power beats noise. That is the frame. You don't need fame. You don't need followers. You need a name that carries weight because it rests on integrity, consistency, and value. In modern life, everyone performs. Few deliver. Deliver. When you speak, people must lean in. When you enter, the temperature must change. When you leave, the absence must be felt. Don't chase approval. Don't beg for validation. Lead. Influence follows leadership the way a shadow follows light. The psychology is simple. People, including women, respond to proof. Social proof. Competence. Character. Direction. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, wrote Marcus Aurelius, Old Stoic wisdom that still applies when messages fly and trends turn in hours. You must be exceptional at something tangible. Master a skill. Create results. Make your presence a rising tide. Help others win. In meetings, bring solutions, not noise. In your business, execute, then communicate. On your phone, send fewer texts and make each one precise. That is how you imprint reliability on the minds of others. Results are currency. Spend them wisely. Protect your attention like capital. Guard your mornings. Train your body. Read deeply. Build an iron mind, then another iron mind on top of it when life tests you, because life will. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, Seneca warned. Old Stoic wisdom is a map for modern pressures, emails, deadlines, family duties, market shocks. Use it. You must curate your circle. Surround yourself with men who challenge you, not cushion you. Don't sit with cynics. Don't linger with complainers. Sit with builders. Sit with lifters. Your environment sets your elevation. That is non-negotiable. When you spend time with those who aim higher, standards rise without speeches. Competence becomes normal. Execution becomes culture. Let's be unmistakable. Giving beats grabbing. Give more than you take. Offer help before it's requested. Keep promises long after the excitement fades. Influence is not manipulation. It is trust earned in small, repeatable acts. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Say it, do it, repeat it. That loop builds social value faster than any viral post. In relationships, be the man who adds value everywhere he goes, calm in conflict, clear under pressure, generous with credit, strict with standards. Don't perform grand gestures once and disappear. Deliver small consistencies daily. That is attractive. That is leadership. Women chase direction because direction signals safety, progress, and meaning. When a man is respected by other men, he doesn't chase, he chooses. He doesn't plead, he leads. He doesn't overtext, he sets plans. Psychology calls this pre-selection and certainty. Old Stoic wisdom calls it virtue in action. Your life will call it momentum. You must become a lighthouse, not a lifeguard. Shine. Stand firm. Don't sprint after every wave. Let's cut through the noise of modern dating apps and endless DMs. Show, don't sell. Let your schedule show purpose. Let your body show discipline. Let your work show mastery. Let your words be few and final. Short, clear, decisive. Success is a matter of hanging on after others have let go, said William Feather. In a world of instant quitting, perseverance is sex appeal. Build habits that announce your standards without a speech. Lift, learn, lead, repeat. Practice Stoicism, win in the small things, arrive on time, keep accounts tight, say no to trivial invitations. Practice Stoicism, win in the big things, refuse gossip, reject victimhood, demand excellence from yourself before you demand it from others. Don't confuse kindness with weakness. Be kind. Be formidable. Cultivate an iron mind when plans collapse and another iron mind when people doubt you. Meet chaos with composure. The goal is not to look high value. The goal is to be high value. That is the secret that makes women chase men. You move with mission. You operate with principle. You compound trust across time. Let's be practical. Audit your week and cut 1 hour of distraction. Replace it with learning that raises your earning power. Pick one arena and become the go-to man. Document your wins privately. Let your reputation travel publicly. Ask better questions in conversations. People remember how you made them think, not how you made yourself look. Give credit loudly, take blame quickly, and fix the system quietly. Don't posture on social media. Build assets, build skills, build alliances. The best way to predict your future is to create it, said Peter Drucker, Old Stoic wisdom in managerial clothes. Create it. You must grow your circle with intention. Shake hands with winners. Break bread with men of substance. Offer value first. Offer it again. Trust accrues. Authority compounds. Attraction becomes effortless because your life already shouts what your mouth doesn't have to say. That is mastery. That is momentum. That is how you make her run toward you, by running toward a mission larger than both of you, armed with old Stoic wisdom, fueled by Stoicism, win, and steeled by an iron mind that refuses to bend when the world blinks. Let's go in. If this opened your eyes, hit like, share it with someone leveling up, and subscribe for more insights. Comment to remember, respect is earned through value, not validation. 7. Pursue continuous self-improvement. Masculinity isn't a destination, it's a direction, and the road only moves forward, so don't park on the shoulder. The moment you stop improving, you start decaying. Be the man who refuses rust. That is the core truth most men ignore. Inside you live two versions, the man you are and the man you could be, and the space between them is your battlefield. Don't surrender it. You must fight for inches daily. Most guys grow until comfort pats them on the head and says, "Good enough." Don't be that guy. Comfort is where your power dies, where your curiosity naps, where your edge dulls. Be the man who treats progress like oxygen. The high-value man doesn't chase perfection. He chases better, quietly, relentlessly, without applause. He reads, learns, trains, and evolves. He studies himself like a project with a deadline. He measures, adjusts, and iterates. He sharpens the blade even when there's no enemy in sight, because he knows dull happens slowly and then all at once. Don't mistake self-improvement for vanity. It's the purest form of respect for your potential. You get one life, one body, one run at seeing what's possible. Don't waste it rerunning the same episode. Upgrade your operating system. Install new skills. Stress test your beliefs. Be ruthless with inputs. Cut gossip, junk content, and low-standard habits. Replace them with goals, structure, and purpose. Build a schedule that protects your focus the way a vault protects gold. Lift something heavy. Read pages that argue with you. Learn the craft you've always avoided because you were afraid to look like a beginner. Calluses are respectable. Stagnation is not. Surround yourself with people who stretch you, not people who drain you. Build standards and defend them with boundaries. Don't negotiate your morning with your pillow. Don't negotiate your values with anyone. Be a man with a spine and a smile. That is magnetism. And here's the secret most never catch. Growth itself becomes attractive. Momentum glows. It hums in your posture, in your tone, in the way you say no without anger and yes without neediness. Women, opportunities, and respect track momentum like ships track a lighthouse. If you want to understand female psychology at a basic level, understand this. People, especially women, are drawn to a man moving somewhere on purpose. Don't posture, progress. You must become the guy whose calendar proves his priorities. Use simple psychology tricks on yourself first, reward consistency, raise the bar slowly, stack tiny wins, because when discipline runs the show, desire stops driving the bus. Paradoxically, this is also how to fall in love without losing yourself. You invest in your mission so you never outsource your happiness to another human. Don't chase validation, chase growth. Don't compete sideways, compete with yesterday's version of you. Be kinder, sharper, calmer, stronger. That is how effortless attraction is built, by effort. And if you want practical psychology tricks that actually align with integrity, start here. Scarcity, unpredictability, and reward are powerful, but apply them to your attention, not your empathy. Don't be constantly available. Earn and protect your time. Be a little unpredictable in your routines so your life has texture and story. Reward the right behaviors in relationships, respect, kindness, honesty, so your standards teach more than your speeches. This isn't manipulation, it's leadership, and female psychology respects leadership rooted in self-control. You must set the frame, a clear mission, non-negotiable health, disciplined time, generous heart. When your life has frame, romance becomes a complement, not a crutch. That is how to fall in love while staying powerful, by inviting someone into a life that already has gravity. Keep climbing. Each night, ask, what did I do today that my future self will thank me for? Each morning, ask, what one action will move the needle? Then execute without drama. Be decisive. Be consistent. Be humble enough to learn and proud enough to persist. Don't perform for strangers on the internet. Perform for the man in the mirror. Don't wait for motivation. Build systems that don't care how you feel. Read for 20 minutes. Lift for 30. Walk in the sun. Put the phone in another room. Journal 3 lines. Make one bold ask. Learn one new concept that compounds. That is the quiet math of momentum. And here's the part that makes women chase. When your life is rich with purpose and progress, attention from you means something. Your yes is rare. Your no is clean. Your presence is calm. You don't need the room notices you. That's not a trick. That's the effect of work done in private. Keep rising. Keep refining. Keep expanding your capacity to love, provide, create, and protect. If you're wondering how to fall in love and be chaste, start by becoming a man whose life is worth joining. Psychology tricks can start a spark, but character sustains the flame, and female psychology is not fooled for long by shiny wrappers on empty boxes. You must be the real thing, steadily upgrading, forever becoming. Don't stop, because the man who never stops improving never loses his value. 8. Set and protect your boundaries. Boundaries are not just rules, they're armor. They're the backbone of masculine strength, the quiet power that says, I know who I am. Without them, a man isn't strong. He's just agreeable in disguise. A man without boundaries doesn't lead. He follows the whims of others. Every high-value man has a clear line drawn in the sand, a line that says, this is what I stand for. This is what I accept. And this is where it stops. Because if you don't define your limits, someone else will. And trust me, the world has no shortage of people ready to test them. Boundaries are about self-respect, not control. Don't confuse boundaries with dominance. This isn't about control, it's about clarity. Boundaries tell the world how to treat you. They separate confidence from desperation, leadership from weakness. When a man lacks boundaries, he becomes a chronic people pleaser. He says yes when his gut screams no, he gives too much, apologizes too often, and bends so far he forgets his shape. He sacrifices his peace just to keep others comfortable, and in that process, he loses his masculine energy. But when a man stands tall and firm, when he says no without guilt, something powerful happens. The world listens. Women feel it. They see a man who respects himself enough to draw the line, and that's magnetic. Because women don't chase what's easy, they chase what's earned. Boundaries protect your energy. Energy is your currency. Guard it like gold. Every conversation, every relationship, every choice, it costs you something. If you don't protect your energy, you'll spend it on the wrong people, the wrong fights, and the wrong pursuits. Without boundaries, You'll pour yourself into people who only take. You'll keep chasing validation from those who never valued you to begin with. But when your boundaries are solid, your focus sharpens. You stop chasing and start attracting. You become the high-value man who doesn't seek approval. He sets the standard. Learn to walk away with clarity, not anger. Walk away from what drains you. Walk away from what disrespects your peace. Not because you're bitter, but because you're clear. If something costs your peace, it's too expensive, period. Your time, your attention, your love, those are rare currencies. Stop spending them on people who don't invest back. A man who knows when to walk away is dangerous in the best way. He's not swayed by drama or guilt. He's grounded, decisive, and calm. That's real masculine energy. Boundaries attract the right women. Here's the secret. Women respect men who say no. They trust men who can lead themselves. Because a man who can protect his peace can protect others. Once you start enforcing your boundaries, the wrong people fade and the right ones show up. You don't have to chase love. Love starts chasing you. You stop being the man begging for attention and become the man who attracts women effortlessly through quiet confidence and clear standards. Boundaries are gates, not walls. Don't build walls. Build gates. Walls keep everything out, even the good. Gates, though, are intelligent. They filter. They let in what nourishes and block what drains. Your boundaries don't reject love, they refine it. They don't kill connection, they cultivate respect. When your boundaries are firm, your energy becomes rare, and when your energy is rare, people will chase the peace you carry. Stop being afraid to disappoint people. Disappointing others is temporary, but disappointing yourself? That lasts a lifetime. Protect your standards like your life depends on it, because your self-worth does. That's the paradox of attraction. The moment you stop chasing and start valuing yourself, everyone else starts valuing you too. Be the man who walks with quiet confidence. Be the man who protects his energy, sets his boundaries, and lives by them. That is what makes you a high-value man. That is what makes you irresistibly magnetic. And that, my friend, is how you attract women without ever needing to chase them. So remember, you don't win a woman's heart by chasing her. You make her want to come to you by becoming the man she can't ignore. Work on your money so you can move with freedom. Master your emotions so no one can play with them. Strengthen your body, your mind, and your purpose. That's what makes you magnetic. Because the truth is simple, the man who chases is forgettable. But the man who builds himself, who walks with confidence, calm, and clarity, is the one every woman wants, but few can have. So stop running after her. Start building yourself so powerfully that she has no choice but to run after you. If this message hit home, keep working on you every single day. Thanks for watching, my friend. Stay strong, stay focused, and I'll see you in the next one.